All right, this article is called Native Americans of the Cherokee Nation, and I'm reading it because I'm hoping it will help you with your research for your social studies project. This is a photograph, and the caption underneath says, Native Americans of the Cherokee Nation are shown during a harvest festival in Cherokee, North Carolina, November 30th, 1942. The Cherokee tribe is the largest Native American tribe. The government counted almost 820,000 people in Cherokee families in 2010. In the 1600s, the Cherokee people had huge amounts of land in the Appalachian Mountains. They lived in Georgia, Tennessee, and North Carolina and South Carolina. Today, they live mostly in Oklahoma and North Carolina. Here's a subheading, Living in the Cherokee Tribe. In the 1600s, Cherokee homes were log cabins with one door and no windows. Towns had 30 to 60 houses and a meeting house. The Cherokee towns were made up of two different groups. Each had its own leaders. There were the red and white groups. The red group led the town during war times. A war chief led the red group. Red leaders held war meetings and led battles. A peace chief led the white group. White leaders were leaders in time of peace and led religious services. Cherokee life was like that of the other tribes like the Creeks. Years ago, the Cherokee had stone tools. They made baskets and pottery. They grew corn and beans. Deer and bear were used for meat and clothing. Here's another subheading, Cherokee land taken away. The Spanish, French, and English tried to take over parts of the southeastern United States. That included Cherokee land. The French and Indian War was awful for the Cherokee. The war took place over 250 years ago. The British had a plan that led to destroying towns. Towns of the Cherokee and other tribes were destroyed. Tribes lost money because of the British. The Cherokee and the Creek had to give some of their lands to pay people back. They gave up a great deal of land in Georgia. Later, the Cherokee used many American ways. The tribe made a government like the United States government. They helped President Andrew Jackson against the Creek tribe in the Creek War. The Creek War took place in the early 1800s. The Cherokee also started a writing system for their language. Another subheading, Cherokee forced to move west in Trail of Tears March. Gold was found on tribal land in Georgia and in the 1820s. It was one reason for the Indian Removal Act in 1830. The law forced the Cherokee and other tribes to move west. Starting in 1838, the U.S. Army forced as many as 16,000 Cherokee from their homes. A few hundred escaped. The others were put into camps while their homes were burned. Then they were sent west to what is now Oklahoma. Most of them walked. This march came to be known as the Trail of Tears. About 4,000 Cherokee died on the journey. Last subheading, Cherokee in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, the Cherokee joined other tribes. They also had been forced from their homes by the government. Today, it is said that the Cherokee tribe has more than 730,000 people in the United States. Most of them still live in Oklahoma. I hope you learned something from this and have a good day.